This is going to mean that we can get our kids back to school full time. Welcome to Can He Be Unchained. You're here with the man with the large dome, the biggest headed spider dad you've ever seen, Kenny Bronner. All right, today is Monday, September 28th, 2020. And we're at it again. If you can tell in the background, this place is a disaster. I got home from work and the kids just tore this place up. I got toys all over the place. I got 2 loads of laundry to do. I got to cook some dinner, get some groceries down. So we're going to try to keep this brief today. I want to be able to post one of these every single day. Just kind of go over the news of the day and talk a little bit. All right. So off the jump, the New York Times, they released this Trump tax return. Little wrench thrown in our election system. So jumping into that, right? So they're posting his tax returns, which technically is illegal from whoever they got it from. And it leaves you to wonder, who did they get those returns from, first off? What is the validity of the tax returns? And we got to keep in mind, New York Times tried doing this back in 2016 too. They said, supposedly Trump didn't pay much in taxes. That was their title in 2016. And now they're saying they have the evidence, all right, which is yet to be substantiated. The New York Times doesn't really hold too much credibility out in the news world these days, just because they've been so blatantly anti-Trump for a long time. So not a lot of people trust them, especially people on the right. Okay, so that's something we have yet to see. How I feel about it, though, I think Trump should definitely drop some sort of document before this debate tomorrow. Just drop a document. Drop a document that proves one of what they said was wrong, and that will completely shut everything down. People aren't going to believe the rest of it. But even still, whoever gave it to the New York Times, they should be prosecuted. The New York Times should be investigated for this because it is a federal crime to do this. It's a federal crime to steal somebody's taxes. This is kind of very similar to doxing, where you post somebody's address and get protesters to go down and protest, right? Because especially when you look at Trump, he's been running this huge company for decades now. He has places all over the world, so it's his taxes is going to be a lot more complicated than say mine. I got one job, I got a couple side gigs. My taxes are simple. He's probably got sometimes he has over 100 side gigs. I still got the cousins, still got the niece and nephew over, and my son running around crazy. So if they pop up, that is what it is. We're gonna keep it rolling, all right? So I'm not sure what to make of it yet. I think Trump should release a document, because if he releases one that spits against what they're talking about, then it kind of ruins the validity of all of them. And then he could sue to get a redaction and maybe an apology, hopefully, and keep it moving. But the New York Times has been very anti-Trump. That's why you can't fully believe the story. I need to see more information to really believe it. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with that. And to say it's a huge bombshell against Trump, not only. Yeah, a little bit, but what do you expect? Of course, he has teams figuring out how to make the most out of his taxes. You know what I mean? And then I was reading one document, right? This one document, I took a picture of it. Okay, this one kind of. I'm wondering if this is in the New York Times article. I refuse to pay a couple of dollars to read the article. I don't want to give New York Times a dime of my money. But I was watching Tim Poole. Tim Poole posted a couple of tweets earlier today, and he posted this one where it says each time he requested it's supposedly in the article, I assume, for the New York Times. It says each time he requested an extension to file his 1040, and each time he made the required payment to the IRS for income taxes he might owe. It says he gave him $1 million in 2016 and $4.2 million in 2017. But virtually all that liability was washed away when he eventually filed, and most of the payments were rolled forward to cover potential taxes in the future years. So technically, in this paragraph, he gave them millions of dollars, and it's getting rolled over into every year. So I don't know the entire validity of the New York Times. If this is in that article, which people have not debunked yet. I've been posting this all day on Twitter. I've been posting this on Facebook. I haven't seen anybody even try to shut it down, tell me that this isn't in the New York Times. So if it is, post it in the comments. If it's not there, if this is BS, all right? I mean, I tend to trust Tim Poole because he's more center and he tells it like it is, okay? So that's where I'm at with that. More will be revealed. I think it's more of a hit job, a hit piece before the debates, just like last time, in hopes that when Trump is debating Biden, that they give Trump all this time on this, and Biden doesn't have to speak as much. Which, when I watch this debate tomorrow, I'm going to be counting minutes. I'm going to be counting questions, okay? Because real talk, this should be even down the middle. There should be hard questions for Biden. There should be hard questions for Trump. The questions should be equal. It should be fair. All right? Not like it was back last time. All right, where it wasn't exactly fair. They didn't exactly keep it even. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Biden get wiped. I truly believe he's going to get wiped. It's just his mental acuity is not there. It's not there whatsoever. Geriatric Joe, Meatloaf Head, the Whitehead. I don't know. I just find old jokes funny. So on top of that, also today, I've been combating that all day. I haven't had a clear answer on that paragraph, which I'm hoping to find soon. You hear I got a little 3-year-old mouse behind me somewhere. Definitely squeaking somewhere over here. But yeah, you had that happen, and then what else did we do today? I watch my typical podcast. I usually watch Bongino every single day. Today was interesting, though. I watched Megyn Kelly. Wow. This is her first podcast, and it was awesome. She had Glenn Greenwald on, and he's the guy who exposed the NSA stuff with Edward Snowden. And they were just talking. I mean, Megyn Kelly's been on both sides of the political spectrum as a journalist, reporter, host for shows. And she was on Fox. She was on, I think, NBC. So it's like she has a perspective on both sides. And she started doing this podcast, as she explained in the podcast, because of just being completely sick and fed up with how each side is so divided. And I guess they're playing with it. My son's drum set. You hearing that? Ching! I wish he was on point. So she's explaining how it was kind of like on both sides of the spectrum and how they're focusing on these stories. She tells a story about Lawrence. Oh, what is his name? Lawrence O'Donnell? I think it's Lawrence O'Donnell. He's a guy in MSNBC. Let me just double check. I want to make sure I get the name right. It's O'Donnell. Which he was talking about how he was like happy about having his ratings go up because of Trump, because of all the anti-Trump out there, and how he was like, oh, this was like a dead zone, and all of a sudden we have Trump and we got ratings again. So it leaves you to think, like, if they're really just searching for ratings, they might just be being inflammatory just for that reason. And this is a problem because so many people follow these media stations blindly. They don't check on the sources. And that's a problem, especially when they're misleading people and they're not telling the truth. It's something that, I always post with the hashtag end Democrat media corruption. End Democrat media collusion. Because you can see it clear as day that the media is colluding with the Democrats to push forward Joe Biden and to push anti-Trump rhetoric. I don't know if they're just doing it for their ratings or they're doing it just because they're being told to do it, but it's alarming. It's very alarming, okay? And Yeah, so I'm going to stop the end because I'm doing a whole huge run-on sentence. But I forgot about the other news today, right? So there was this video I saw this morning. I feel like that chime kind of worked well. So there was news this morning that Ilhan Omar has a team in Minnesota, and they are ballot harvesting. Okay? So what they're doing, they have a guy in a car. They had this video I was watching. He probably had like a good 100, 150 ballots inside of his car. He's talking about how he's making money. He's making cheddar cheese. And he's taking these ballots over to old age homes and just having people fill them out. And they might not even be the right names on the ballots or anything. But I'm waiting to see, if this is true, I'm waiting to see Ilhan Omar arrested, thrown in jail. Because it's egregious. Especially doing something like this along election season and you got caught. Whew. I hope something comes of that. I hope we see a little more of that and somebody held accountable for once. It almost seems like Democrats are just never held accountable, never, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see because they right away go and try to throw a bunch of Republican sides in prison. They like throw some of Trump's team, get a court case and everything else, and then we're waiting eons for this Durham investigation, which just doesn't seem to turn up anything. But when they do the investigation on Trump, they send a SWAT team with camera crews to get a couple of the guys that were working with him. And it's like, it's not exactly, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right at all. It seems like hyper-politicized, like they did this for ratings, which it seems like they are, according to like what Megyn Kelly was talking about. And then Glenn Greenwald was talking a lot about how he's been like blackballed by MSNBC because he doesn't prescribe to what they need. Megyn was talking about how she was called to come on CNN a couple times, and they wanted her to say basically talk anti-Trump rhetoric, but she refused to, so they refused to put her on. So it's like, it's a problem with our media. It's a huge problem. They're misinforming the public. They have an agenda. They should never have an agenda. I was also seeing today people from, I think, the Washington Post, editors of the Washington Post, said they are going to be pushing for Biden this election, that they're endorsing Biden. If you're a journalist, you're supposed to be down the middle. You aren't supposed to be endorsing anybody. We're supposed to expect fair news from you guys. Like it's not right that they're doing this. Not right at all. If I was running those newspapers, those people would be fired. You're not here to be biased. You're here to tell it like it is so the people can make up their own minds. But they're not doing that. They're trying to sway everybody. They're trying to get everybody to buy into an agenda, which it's so messed up. It's so messed up. So that's what I want to see. I want to see Ilhan Omar face some repercussions from what we've seen today. Definitely want to see some more Megyn Kelly. She's doing another podcast Wednesday. Feel free to check the one she did today. It was awesome. It was very good show. Very, 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 very good to watch. Bongino was his typical Bongino today. I wish him well with his health. It was a little funny because he always has his little sidekick Joe on there, and he wasn't there today, so he's like filling in the part for Joe. It was a little comical, you know. Bongino isn't always a funny guy, but it was kind of comical. All right. And yeah, I'm just ready for these debates, man. Also, huge news today out of the Trump campaign. Huge news. This is monumentous. This is going to mean that we can get our kids back to school full time. Full time. So Trump held a little meeting today at the I think it was the Rose Garden. I forget. It's somewhere in the White House, right? He was holding a meeting at the White House. It was him, Mike Pence. He had an admiral. He had his one of his doctors up there. I think it was Atlas, and they unveiled a new testing. Now, this new testing is very simple. The admiral actually did the testing on stage. You really take a little piece of cardboard, you drop 6 drops, you do a little swab of the nose, put it in there, 15 minutes, and you got your test. You got your results. And this is huge. And to all you people saying Trump has been inactive for COVID. You guys are blind. You guys are blind. From the beginning, he's been taking action, and it's about time you guys recognize and take notice. You got to realize when you're not being fair. Okay, people have not been fair to Trump in this account with COVID. They want to blame him for 200,000 deaths, but the projections were between 2 and 6 million. We're out testing every other country by far. We're like 60 million ahead of the next best, which is India, right? Our stats are all going down. Now, the whole reason we had this beat the curve thing was because hospitals were said to be were looking like they were going to be overrun. They're not. We can handle this right now. But with this test, it's absolutely huge. It means kids can go to school full time the second it is in that school. Because if somebody isn't feeling right, they can send them right to the nurse. They can do the little test. If it comes up positive, they can lock the doors on the class and test people, separate them, send them home for quarantine right away. And the kids can continue going to school. This is absolutely huge. This is huge. And this is how we get back to normal. So they're saying they can have 150 million of these tests by the new year. So this is it. This is the end of COVID right here. Beginning of the end right now. Trump just relayed it today. So I'm looking forward to seeing the reactions from that. Maybe we'll see something like that on the debates too. Who knows? But it was very interesting. And I remember taking the other test. There was like this big long swab, and they stuck it all in your nose, like the back of your head. Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. I mean, I came up clean. Didn't have any issues there, which is good. I mean, even though I got sick back in January. I mean, my whole family was sick in January. All 6 of us. We were all sick with something in January. We were like had fevers on and off for a week and all that. We were thinking maybe it was COVID, but I don't know. Maybe we got the flu or something. Who knows? I know a lot of us were still working through it. We broke the fever, went to work. That's what we typically always do. But this test is huge, man. This is going to be a game changer. This is a game changer. COVID, you're just about done, COVID. We're going to have to deal with you too much longer. That's for damn sure. And we'll be able to find out if these kids are sick right away. Isolate them. Send them home. Test the whole class. Isolate who's contagious. Send them home. Everybody else can keep learning. We don't got to shut down the school for 2 weeks. We don't have to. You can test, disinfect the room, keep it moving. So this is huge. This is a huge improvement when it comes to it. And it's funny, you don't see the media talking about this at all. They just became so negligent to anything positive that has to do with Trump. They just like block it out. I'm sure right now they're talking all about tax returns and they're not talking about this this fast test at all. And it's upsetting because I mean I was part of the thing like when I was listening to Megyn Kelly today. I was like part of the reason why she was just sitting back, took a couple years off. She was just listening to like all the rhetoric, and she's just like, "That's a lie. That's a lie. I don't believe Trump. I don't really believe the media." I mean, look at the ratings between them. Believe it or not, Trump has better ratings than the media. So that means more people believe Trump than they actually believe the media. Hard facts. Right? More people believe CNN or Trump. More people believe Trump. More people believe MSNBC or Trump. More people believe Trump. Fox or Trump? Trump. It's messed up. Do more people believe Congress or Trump? Trump. Congress hasn't had a positive approval rating in over 20 years. So it's just wild to think of. And people trying to say Trump's lying, Trump's lying, Trump's lying. I posted a video yesterday. Well, Biden lies, 15 times in 14 minutes in one speech. So yeah, we'll catch what lies we can find tomorrow during the debates, and the debates should be cool. I'm hoping to see Trump just wipe Biden all over the floor. Orange man crushes meatloaf head. Orange man crushes the sourpuss. I don't know. I remember the last time I even saw Biden smile. He's been so negative and fear mongering to the absolute max. Not like people on the right have been fear mongering either, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I want to see Joe get smacked down, which I believe is going to happen. My pops keep saying that Joe's going to back out last second. Still waiting to see. I mean, it's still likely. You know, his health isn't there. Oh yeah, one more thing to touch on. Jesus Christ, these kids. Boom, boom. Okay, one more thing to touch on. Now, this is another one that Trump is pushing to get Biden to take a drug test before the debates. And initially, I'm thinking like, okay, this sounds a little ridiculous. I mean, I don't think Biden is doing has any illicit drug use currently. He's not gonna like come up with cocaine and all that. But then I was thinking about it a little bit. Is he trying to find out if he's on like Razidine, which is an Alzheimer's medication or something along those lines? Interesting to say the least. I mean, Biden can't really go anywhere without a teleprompter. You see it all the time. There's so many fub-ups with a teleprompter. He's like, bring it up. And you see all his tells. He gets the hand going. Come on. And he touches the nose. I guess that means, tell me more on my earpiece or something like that. But it's suspect. And I just find it funny how Jill, his wife, talks so much better in front of the camera than Jill. It's like not even close. Better off having Jill run for president than Joe. Joe's a disaster. But that's pretty much all I got today. I want to keep it short. Don't really have too much I wanted to go into, but I definitely wanted to post something. I want to start doing some more things on the cast as well. Do some interview series and a couple other things. But one last thing I'll touch on. All right, so I've been very active on Twitter. Very active lately. Not too many people were willing to even challenge a lot of stuff I was saying today. I mean, some people talking about how, Trump's a dumpster fire, just that other thing, same old. But me, I just keep on moving forward. I don't accept name calling. I will refuse to name call. If you're being a bigot, I'll call you. I'll say you're exhibiting bigotry or you're acting like a bigot. Just because I don't want to get into these back and forth conversations. I want to find real solutions. I want to bring it to the table. I want people to bring their point of view. I want to show my point of view, and I want to hammer stuff down. One person I completely destroyed today. They were posting how white supremacists have been like doing stuff in these protests and riots. Right? So this lady posted like 10 different articles. All the articles, it talks about like the threat of right-wing extremists, the threat of white supremacists. But where are the arrests? And they're trying to say like Antifa isn't a real problem, like Trump is wrong, this, that, and the other thing. So then, to just totally destroy our argument, I read every single thing. I turned around and started posting Antifa arrests at these riots. So just off the jump, posted like 7-8 arrests, and it's like you're saying something's real by threats. I'm showing you something's real by actual actions and actual arrests that went down. So Antifa is a problem. The right-wing extremist isn't. All right, unless you can show me right-wing extremist arrests associated with the protests, you're full of it. So if you're going to try to make that argument, that's going to get knocked down easy. All right? And, so that's going to be it for today. Keeping it short and sweet, short and simple. I hope everybody's ready for the debates tomorrow. I wanted to do like a live cast of the debates, but I don't think it's going to happen. I know the wife's off tomorrow, so we'll be watching, but might give this a break for a day because I'm at 3 days in a row. So I hope it's a good show tomorrow. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? So Spider Dad's going to get out of here. If you guys have any comments, anything you want to share, anything you want to add, if you got any facts that can prove what I'm saying wrong, feel free to throw it forward as always. But till then, you've been watching Can He Be Unchained? Can you be unchained? Peace.